Hi everyone, well today I'm going to share with you 3 very simple ways that you can get indoor grow lights set up so that when it comes time to start your seeds inside for your spring garden in just a few months, you'll be ready. Now if you're one of those people who are confused about how to set up indoor grow lights, don't worry about it, you're not alone. In this video we're going to break it down, make it very easy for you, including explaining what lumens and Kelvin are. So if you're confused about that, make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to show you my indoor grow light setup, and by the end of this video you're going to know exactly how to get yours going inside as well. I know many of you are already dreaming about your spring garden and are busy picking out your seeds, planning what you're going to grow them in, and are going to get a head start by starting your seeds indoors. One of the most important factors to consider when growing indoor vegetable seedlings is light. It's so important to have the right kind of light to grow your plants healthy and strong so that they are ready to be planted outside when the time comes. Often a sunny windowsill is just not enough to grow strong, healthy seedlings. What the seedlings do is they stretch towards the sun and become leggy. And a leggy seedling is not a strong seedling. You want a seedling with a strong, stocky, healthy stem so that when it comes time to plant out in the garden, it is strong enough to withstand the wind and the elements and will grow you lots of wonderful vegetables for you and your family to eat. If you're going to take the time to start your vegetable seedlings indoors, the best way to make sure they are strong and healthy when it comes time to move them out into the garden is to grow them under indoor lights. You can't just use any old type of light bulb. You do need to use a special kind of light that has the right amount of Kelvin and lumens to grow your transplants healthy and strong. When you're shopping for indoor grow light bulbs, you'll often see 3 specifications on the package: lumens, Kelvin, and watts. It's really important to have the right amount of lumens and Kelvin so that your transplants go really nice and strong. So let's just break it down and make it very simple. Well, first of all, let's talk about lumens. Lumens is simply a measure of brightness of the light. The higher the lumens, the brighter the light. The lower the lumens, the dimmer the light. And when you're growing vegetable seedlings, it's very important that they're met with a very bright, intense light as soon as they germinate. So lumens are what pounds are to tomatoes, what a gallon is to milk. It's simply a way to measure the brightness of the light. So when you're growing vegetable seedlings, it's very important that you have about a 2,000 to 3,000 lumen level on your light bulb. And you can usually find this information on the back of the package. Now, this particular light is a little bit under 2,000, it's 1,600, but I have used these lights many times to grow indoor vegetable seedlings, and although a brighter light would be a little bit better, these also work just fine. The next specification you'll find on the back of your grow light bulb package is Kelvin. Kelvin simply refers to the type of light produced or the color temperature, and grow lights need to mimic daylight. So the measurement on the back here shows 6,500, which is really good. Between 4,500 and 6,500 mimic daylight. So again, the higher the number, the better. So look for a number between 4,500 and 6,500 so that your seedlings are nice and strong and stocky. The third specification, one that many of you are probably already familiar with, is watts. Now, like I mentioned earlier, watts is simply a measurement of the electricity used. So you really don't need to be too concerned about that when you're purchasing bulbs for growing indoors. Really, the lumens and the Kelvin are the most important thing to look for so that your seedlings are nice and strong. There's many ways to set up indoor grow lights. So let's head inside. I'll show you the 3 really simple ways that I have mine set up, and you can choose which one works best for you. The first indoor grow light is one of my favorites because it's so simple and perfect for a beginner. It's this very easy clamp light. Now I love this. No assembly required. The light bulb just screws in and out. Perfect for a small space. It'll clip under your countertop, onto a table, onto a shelf. And these are readily available. You can find them at hardware stores, Target, or Walmart. I'll also pop a link down in the video description. Now, how I'm using it here is I've got a gallon jug filled with sand, PVC pipe in it, clip it on, turn it on, and there you go. You got an instant grow light system. You can move it up and down as the plants grow. A couple little tips here. In this clamp light, I'm using one of these CFL bulbs that I showed you earlier. You can also use an LED bulb, But keep in mind, although that's more energy efficient in the long run, your upfront costs will be higher. So I'm keeping my costs really low up front by using the CFL bulbs, and these work just great. Now, the thing to remember when you're growing indoor plants with your grow lights is to keep your grow light about an inch or two away from the plants that you're growing. Otherwise, we get that legginess I told you about earlier, and we don't want that because we want our seedlings to be nice and strong. So you can direct the light up and down, and it's perfect for growing this nice little tray of microgreens. I mean, look at these. Don't these look fabulous? Now, another way I really like to use this clamp light, a lot of you have done this from the first garden series or from the $10 garden series, is with a grow light box. Now, this is so handy. It keeps all your seedlings contained in this box. And you may have seen this also over on Gary, over at the Rusted Gardens channel. I got the idea originally from him. I'll put a pop-up link on to a video on how to build it. But basically, it's just lined with aluminum foil, and the clamp light keeps the light directed right down onto the seedlings. So it's a really handy way to get started, and it's very inexpensive. The second setup that I love to use is this shop light setup. Now you need two things for this, a 4-foot shop light and then some bulbs. Now you can use T8 light bulbs or T5 light bulbs, but I happen to have bought a big contractor's pack of the T12, so I'm going to use what I have. Now the T12, T5, and T8, don't let that confuse you. It simply refers to the size or the diameter of the light bulb. So the T12s and the T8s work great. The T5s, the light is a lot more intense, but those light bulbs are also more expensive. So I'm sticking with the T12s for now. One thing I forgot to mention about these T12 lights, 2,500 lumens, so we're good on the lumens, and the Kelvins are 500K. So we're good on both lumens and Kelvin with these T12 lights. So this is super easy to get set up. You can set it up on a nice shelving unit or in a closet on shelves if you have that available to you. But I have just set it up super simple, super quick. Again, I've got my gallon jugs here filled with sand, PVC pipe stuck in the middle, and I use the little chains that come with the shop lights just to hang them from the PVC pipes and direct the light down towards my plants. Now, you'll see, of course, that I raised my plants up with these shoe boxes while they're teeny tiny, a couple of bricks, because remember, you don't want your plants to be what? To be leggy. That's right, you guys are learning. And as the plants grow, I can move the bricks out of the way, move the shoe boxes out of the way, so that there's enough room for the plants underneath the light. So this may not be a super pretty setup, but it's a setup that you can easily do at home. It's very inexpensive, and you can get those spring garden seeds started. The third indoor grow light setup that I really like to use is this really simple tabletop grow light setup. This one's made by Ferry Morris. You can get it at most hardware stores, and I'll also link it up in the video description. It comes in this nice, neat little package. So the advantage to this is if you're a beginner, everything is in here. You got the light, you got the little handy dandy stand. Does require some assembly, but it pretty much takes the guesswork out of it. Now this one has one of those T5 bulbs I was telling you about. It doesn't specify the lumens and the Kelvin on the package, but it's a nice, bright, intense light. And let me just show you how much smaller the T5 bulb is as compared to the T12 bulb that I used in the previous setup. It's a lot more smaller in diameter. So this little setup is about 2 feet long, and it works great again if you're growing a small amount of plants. It's growing this lettuce, little salad container of lettuce greens absolutely beautifully. Now the cool thing is too, if you have 2 of them, you can kind of put them together here. It does interlock really nicely, and that way it provides a lot of really nice intense light for your plants. Now the only drawback to this is they're a little bit pricey. I think these run around $45 or so on Amazon or at your hardware store. So if you're on a tight budget, you might want to start with one of the other 2 setups and then move up to this one if your budget allows. Well, the other thing that's really important when you're doing an indoor grow light setup is to have a timer. It's super important that you don't have to think about when to turn your lights on and turn them off, because if you forget, again, your plants won't have enough light and they're going to be leggy. You guys are doing really good on this. Now, the amount of time that you leave your indoor grow lights on is this. When you first start your seedlings, they're going to take a couple of days to germinate, but I like to leave mine on about 24 hours until they germinate. So just in case those little seedlings poke through the soil when you're in bed, they're going to be met by a super bright burst of intense light. And that way they'll keep on growing nice and strong. And after that, after they germinate, you want to leave them on about 18 hours a day and off for about 6 hours during the night. So the schedule of 18 hours on and 6 hours off is just the right amount to grow nice, strong, healthy seedlings. So that pretty soon when the weather warms up and you're ready to put them in the garden, they are going to be ready. Well, there you have it. 3 super simple, easy, quick, simple, inexpensive indoor grow light setups, and Kelvin and Lumens explained. Well, comment below, let me know if this video was helpful for you and what type of indoor grow light setup you're going to be using to grow your spring vegetable seedlings. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos, and hit the like button if you liked it, because that always really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.